Hi everyone, I'm Jane P. Camero and my topic is all about the Love and Justice Framework. So when we talk the Love and Justice Framework, it is a concept that combines the principle of love and justice as a basis for ethical decision making and the social change. So first is the principle of love. There are three well-known concepts of originating from the Greeks, namely agape or charity, erotic or passionate sexual encounter, and philia, the affection between friends. So the principle of love, it is about empathy and care for others, like treating individuals with kindness, understanding, and respect. So agape is the love principle preached by Jesus Christ. What Christ did as narrated in the New Testament are all acts of love. Feeding the hungry, giving drinks to the thirsty, healing the sick, rendering service to those in need. In general, as St. Thomas defined it, agape is willing the good of another. It is the act of sharing or giving more than what is just, because justice is just the minimum of love. In the language of contemporary thinkers, this is love as affirmation of the other's being with others, and being conscious of the other's presence. So, they have justice and fairness, promoting being conscious of promoting the common good as a moral framework. So, when we talk justice and fairness, it is about often implies a commitment to ensuring that the principles of justice are applied fairly and equitably to all individuals. So, first is social justice. Social justice is equal access to wealth, opportunities, and privilege with society. Example is, in a community, there are significant disparities in the quality of education between schools located in affluent neighborhoods and those in low incomes areas. Schools in wealthier have better resources, facilities, and educational opportunities, while schools in poorer neighborhoods lack basic resources, experienced teachers, and adequate infrastructure. These efforts, the community strives to achieve social justice by ensuring that every child, regardless of their socioeconomic status, has access to a quality education that empower them to reach their full potential and contribute meaningfully to society. Second is justice as the minimum demand of love. William Lopen referred to justice as the minimum demand of love. To do justice is already an act of love, the minimum demand of love. Example is, imagine scenario where a group of individuals from different backgrounds and social statuses are working together towards a common goal. In this group is a person who consistently undermines the efforts of others, takes credit for work they did not do, and discriminates against certain members based on their characteristics. So, third is distributive justice. Distributive justice is a justice that is concerned with the distribution or allotment of goods, duties, and privilege, and is concerned with the merits of individuals and the best interest of the society. Example of distributive justice. Imagine this scenario would involve allocating salaries and benefits in a way that reflects the principle of fairness. The company would assess each employee's performance, experience, and qualifications to determine their appropriate compensation level. So, Employees who contribute more to the company's success through their hard work skills and dedication would receive higher salaries and rewards compared to those who contribute less. So they have the following have features of distributive justice. So first is egalitarianism. Second, capitalist and free market systems. Third is socialists. Fourth is taxation. Fifth is protection and preservation of public welfare. And last, property for public use. So, first is egalitarianism. So, egalitarianism is the doctrine of political and social equality. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the law. So, example is, let's consider a community project where a group of volunteers is working together to improve a public space, such a park of a community center. Egalitarianism is the belief in equality and equal rights for all individuals, regardless of their background or social status. In this scenario, egalitarianism would manifest in the way decisions are made within the volunteer group instead of hierarchies of power dynamics influencing the project. Decisions are made collectively through democratic processes where every volunteer has an equal voice and opportunities to contribute ideas and, suggestions. Furthermore, resources and responsibilities are distributed evenly among the volunteers to ensure that everyone has a fair chance to participate and contribute to the project success. There is a shared sense of ownership and responsibility for the project, which with each volunteer valued for their unique skills and perspective. So, next is capitalist and free market systems. Let the law of demand and the supply follow its course. Ideally, it is a self-regulation process. In a situational example of capitalist and free market systems, let's consider a scenario in which a new technology company is launching a product in a competitive market. The company operates within a capitalist economic system where private individuals and businesses own and control the means of production, and a free market system where prices are determined by supply and demand with minimal government intervention. In this context, the technology company introduced a new smartphone with innovative features and advanced technology in a capitalist system. The company has the freedom to set the price of the smartphone based on market research, production costs, and desired profit margins. Consumers have a choice or OPT for alternatives from competing companies in the free market system. The company competes with other technology firms in the market, each striving to attract customers through competitive pricing, product quality, and marketing strategies. The free market system allows for healthy competition, innovation, and consumer choices as companies seek to meet the demands of the market and maximize their profits. So, Third is socialist. Follow the rule from each according to his ability to each according to his needs. So, in a situational example of socialists, let's consider hypothetical. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario where a government implements socialist policies to address income inequality and provide social welfare programs for its citizens. In this scenario, the government introduced progressive taxation policies where higher income individuals are taxed at a higher rate to fund social programs such as universal healthcare, education, and social security.
Lapit mo lang.
The goal is to redistribute wealth and ensure that basic needs are met for all citizens regardless of their socioeconomic status. Additionally, the government may nationalize certain industries or utilities to ensure that essential services are provided to the public at affordable prices by taking control or key sector like healthcare, energy, or transportation. The government aims to prevent monopolies, regulate prices, and guarantee access to vital services for citizens. So, next is taxation. Taxation is governments getting a part of what its people earn in order to have money to spend for public services, operating and maintaining public places or properties for people use. In a situational example of taxation, let's consider a scenario in a democratic country where the government uses tax revenue to fund public services and infrastructure for the benefit of its citizens. Imagine a middle-income family living in a suburban neighborhood. The family members work in different sectors of the economy and pay various types of taxes, including income tax, property tax, and sales tax. So when we talk income tax, the family members pay income tax based on their earnings. The tax rates are progressive, meaning that higher income family members pay a higher percentage of their income in taxes compared to low income earners. The government uses income tax revenue to fund public education, healthcare, social security, and other social welfare programs. Property tax. The family own a home and they pay property tax to the local government based on the value of their property. The property tax revenue is used to maintain public infrastructure such as roads, parks, and public schools in the neighborhood. So, next is sales tax. When the family members make purchases, they pay sales tax on goods and services. The sales tax revenue is collected by the government and used to fund public services at the state and national levels, such as transportation, defense, and environmental protection. Through the collection of taxes from individuals and businesses, the government is able to generate revenue to finance public goods and services that benefit society as a whole. Taxation plays a crucial role in funding essential services, maintaining infrastructure, and promoting economic development for the well-being of the community. Next is protection and preservation of public welfare. The government, his constitution, granted power to to make, adopt, and enforce laws for the protection and preservation of public health, justice, morals, order, safety, and security and welfare. So, in a situational example of the protection and preservation for public welfare, let's consider a scenario where a government implements policies and initiatives to safeguard the well-being and rights of its citizens. Imagine a coastal town that is prone to natural disasters such as hurricanes and flooding. In this scenario, the government takes proactive measures to protect and preserve public welfare in the face of these environmental challenges. So, first is disaster preparedness. The government invests in early warning systems, emergency response teams, and evacuation plans to ensure the safety of residents during natural disasters. By prioritizing disaster preparedness, the government aims to minimize loss of life and property damage, thereby safeguarding public welfare. So next is infrastructure resilience. The government allocates funds to strengthen infrastructure such as seawalls, flood barriers, and drainage systems to mitigate mitigate the impact of extreme weather events. By improving infrastructure resilience, the government enhances the town's ability to withstand disaster and protect the well-being of its residents. Next is community support. The government provide financial assistance, temporary housing, and mental health services to residents affected by natural disasters. By offering support to those in need, the government promotes social cohesion, resilience, and the preservation of public welfare in the aftermath of emergencies. So, last is property for public use. The government has constitutions granted power to take private property for public use with just compensation. In a situational example of property for public use, let's consider a scenario where a city government decides to repurpose a vacant lot in the downtown area for the benefit of the community. Imagine a vacant lot in a city center that has been unused for years, becoming an eyesore and a potential safety hazard. The government decides to transform this vacant lot into a public park for the resident to enjoy. So, park development. The city government allocates funds to design and develop the vacant lot into a green space with trees, benches, walking paths, and recreational facilities. The park is designed to provide a peaceful retreat for urban dwellers, promote outdoor activities, and enhance the quality of life in the city. Community engagement. The city engage with local residents, community groups, and stakeholders to gather input ideas to the parks for the parks design and amenities. By involving the community in the decision-making process, the city ensuring that the park meets the needs and preferences of the people who will use it. So, the bit the bitter and moral framework, Garner Andresen's synthesis. Richard T. Garners and Bernard Rosen, 1967, tried to identify the most acceptable criterion of the rightness and or wrongness of action, the goodness or badness of character of person life. Garner and Rosen's synthesis is a moral framework that seeks to combine elements of different ethical theories to address the complexities of moral decision making. This synthesis aims to bridge the gaps between consequentialist, deontological, and virtue ethics perspectives to provide a more comprehensive approach to ethics. In Garner and Rosen's synthesis, uh, the focus is on considering the consequences of action, adherence to moral principles, and development. of virtuous character. This framework recognizes that each ethical theory has valuable insights to offer and that a holistic approach that integrates this perspective can lead to better moral decision making. By combining elements of utilitarianism, deontology, and virtue ethics, Garner and Joseph synthesis encourage individuals to consider the outcomes of their actions, the ethical principle guiding those actions, and the development of virtuous character traits. This comprehensive approach allows for a more nuanced understanding of morality and a more balanced considered of moral dilemmas.